Sunday on Denver 7.
I feel like the time is coming to change, the time for just positive recognition in the Native community.
Working to better represent Native Americans. Details on the meeting happening today that could lead to lasting change. It's a trend moving across the metro. Business owners feeling pushed out of their neighborhoods, why those in 5 Points are blaming outside investors. And check this out, students at DU now have access to snacks 24/7, and it's all thanks to AI.
Good morning and welcome to Denver 7 News. I'm Jessica Crawford. Happy Sunday, everybody. Let's take a look outside right now off of Lookout Mountain. Oh my goodness, clearly some clouds moving in this morning. Let's bring in meteorologist Lisa Hidalgo for the latest. Lisa, that's very beautiful, but also at the same time, looks like we can expect some rain.
We picked up a little bit of rain overnight. Yeah, a cold front raced through overnight. Now skies are going to start to clear out here, but you're going to find some damp roadways early this morning. We picked up a little snow in the mountains too. It's not going to be as warm as yesterday, and some of these clouds that are now lingering will clear out here by this afternoon. We'll see more sunshine. Mid to upper 30s right now. Your wake up forecast not nearly as warm as what we saw yesterday. We're going to be in the 30s and low 40s through early morning. Closer to about 50 by 12, and then we'll hit highs this afternoon in the mid to upper 50s. We have Denver at right around 55 to near 60, a little cooler to the north near Longmont and Fort Collins, and you'll find 30s in the mountains, where yesterday we had 50s, it'll be 30s out west, so much colder if you're getting in any spring skiing or snowboarding. Coming up, we'll take a look at when we have a better chance for a little bit of snow here in town. Jessica?
Lisa, thank you. The push to better represent Native Americans across the state continues this morning. The Colorado Geographic Naming Advisory Board is meeting to get the ball rolling to remove the word squaw from dozens of landmarks. One mountain in Idaho Springs, renamed late last year, is now Mestahe Mountain. Denver 7's Christian Lopez joins us live now. And Christian, those in the Native American community say this is a long time coming.
Yeah, and there is still a lot of work to be done, but the state is showing that it is supporting these tribal communities. And as you mentioned, there is a meeting happening tonight. And during this meeting, the Colorado Geographic Naming Advisory Group will be discussing removing the word squaw from several Colorado landmarks. And back in November, the federal government declared this word a derogatory term and began the process of removing it and replacing it on federal lands. Over generations, the word became known as racist and a term that belittles Indigenous women. And for many, like Morningstar Jones, who is part of the Mestahe Coalition, it's a lot more than just a name change.
I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling just happy all in general. I feel like the time is coming to change, the time for just positive recognition in the Native community. Our voices are finally being heard.
And there are around 30 locations that include this word that will be up for discussion during that meeting tonight. Reporting live in Denver this morning, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Christian, thank you. Interior Secretary Deb Haaland will be in Colorado tomorrow. Secretary Haaland and Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack will be in Boulder County to discuss ways to fight wildfires. The visit is part of the Biden administration's rural infrastructure tour. The rebuilding process in Boulder County takes another step forward tomorrow. The county is hosting an online workshop with residents to focus on building code requirements and energy efficient codes. There's hopes that people will also find out which neighborhoods will be cleaned up first. That report was expected to come out Friday. As of last check, officials are aiming to have work underway in the next 2 to 4 weeks. Tomorrow's virtual meeting starts at 6 p.m. You can register to attend on Boulder County's website. It has been a violent and tragic weekend here in the metro. Families and friends are grieving the losses of 7 people killed in car crashes Friday into Saturday. This comes as Denver police are still looking for answers after a shooting led to one of those deadly wrecks. And one of the people killed Friday was Uriel Reyes Medina. His wife says he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Shots were fired between 2 cars driving down Peoria Street near 39th Avenue. One of those cars then drove into oncoming traffic and into Medina's truck.
He was coming home to have dinner with his family, and to somebody's negligence, My kids don't have a father. I don't have a husband. I have to figure out everything on my own, and there's nobody to even blame at this point.
Heartbreaking. Friends have started a GoFundMe account to help out that family. If you know anything that can help in this case, call Crime Stoppers. Despite recent controversy, Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters is now the leading Republican candidate for Colorado Secretary of State. Peters received just over 60% of the vote at the Colorado GOP Assembly. Secretary of State Jenna Griswold's campaign team sent out a statement on the results, saying in part, Tina Peters, through her words and actions, is a clear threat to Colorado's elections and democracy itself. She's unfit to serve as Colorado Secretary of State. The statement goes on to say Peters is not only a threat to future elections, she has already failed as an election administrator, end quote. The campaign is referring to allegations that Peters tampered with election equipment. She was indicted following a long-running investigation into how sensitive election information ended up online. Peters is also separately accused of trying to kick a police officer who was detaining her in another case. She's expected to be arraigned in May. A former Teller County deputy is behind bars after barging into a home in the town of Florissant with an assault rifle, then threatening to hurt the people inside. According to court documents, 44-year-old Mark Bissett drove to a home on a four-wheeler, telling one of the residents that he would fight anyone. The victim tells police that Bissett seemed intoxicated. Moments later, Bissett would then return to the home with an assault rifle, telling the victim to open the door, threatening to kill him if he didn't. The Teller County Sheriff's Office says they fired Bissett, who is now facing multiple charges, including burglary, felony menacing, and criminal trespassing. Now to a historic Denver neighborhood where many local businesses have spent the last 2 years struggling amid the pandemic. Now some business owners in the 5 Points area say there's another threat to their livelihoods, and this time it's coming from the form of outside investors. Denver 7 CB Cotton explains.
Some businesses here in 5 Points tell me growth is a top priority, but after a recent lawsuit between them and an investment firm, they're left wondering who they can trust. Like the intersecting streets of the 5 Points neighborhood, some business owners in the area feel they've crossed paths with bad interest.
We have community pillars like Welton Street Cafe and other companies and other businesses that are not here anymore.
And LeJean Vivens says that's because of predatory investors. He's a co-owner of restaurant Agave Shore and says last week he settled a lawsuit with an outside investment firm who became the de facto landlord. He says the firm offers to invest money to help businesses grow, but when things don't go their way, they push people out.
They were suing us for forcible eviction, for back cams, back rent, and other minor items. The cams are common area maintenance. It's snow removal, it's security, it's those type of items, the trash.
Denver 7 is choosing not to name the investment firm, but the firm still has ongoing litigation with other businesses in the area. Now that Vivens has settled, he wants to speak out on behalf of others who feel silenced or pushed out.
We definitely are scared for people who say, I'm here for black business. Well, the question I pose is it only the black businesses that you own a part of?
So on Saturday, he and others voiced their concerns at a meeting held to help connect black business owners with financial resources. But for Vivens, the meeting was about helping others protect themselves.
Who is here to protect us against landlords?
In 5 Points, I'm CB Cotton, Denver 7.
New technology is making grabbing a snack between classes all the easier for students at DU. We're taking a closer look at how that works. And the Arvada Kite Festival is today, where you can find this free family fun.